Hello everyone, children. In the previous class, we started a new chapter from our English textbook First Flight. The title of the chapter was Madam Rides the Bus. Today, we shall discuss the second part of the same lesson. Page number 119, first paragraph. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus," and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. So, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway. So a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." And a tiny hand was raised commandingly. Who was that? That was our Wally. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." So the bus stopped, and the conductor said, "Hurry, we are running a short of time." "It's me," shouted Wally. "I am the one who has to get on." By now the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh really? You don't say so." "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Wally, still standing outside the bus. "And here is my money." She showed him some coins. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to hold her up. "Never mind," she said. "I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me." So the conductor said to Wally, she has to get on the bus if she wants to go to town. And the conductor tried to help Wally, but she didn't like that. She said, "Never mind, I can get on by myself, for you don't have to help me." The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. What does the word here jolly mean? Here the word jolly means lively and entertaining. Lively and entertaining. "Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam," he said. "Here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam." So the conductor called Wally madam because he was a jolly sort of person, or he was a little bit lively and entertaining. That's why for a joke he called Wally madam. It was the slack time of day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Wally and laughing with the conductor. Wally was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. Underline the word slack time. Slack time here refers to a time when there is not much work. So it was the slack time of day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Wally and laughing with the conductor. Wally was overcome with shyness. So, avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. What does the word here? Shyness means the quality or state of being shy. The quality or state of being shy. "May we start now, madam?" the conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice, and the bus moved forward with a roar. Continued its journey. It was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Directly in front of Wally, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. Wally devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. We have got two or three words from this single paragraph. The first one is devoured. Devoured. Devoured means ആർത്തിയോടെ കാണുക. Okay, that is devour. Next one, cut off. Cut off means തടയപ്പെടുക. Next one, canvas. Actually, ഇത് ഒരുതരം പരിക്കൻ തുണി, അതിനെയാണ് ക്യാൻവാസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് ബ്ലൈൻഡ്. ഹിയർ ബ്ലൈൻഡ് മീൻസ് അന്ധത എന്നല്ല, അന്ധമായത് എന്നല്ല. ആക്ച്വലി ഹിയർ ദ വേർഡ് ബ്ലൈൻഡ് മീൻ മറയുന്നതാണ്. ഓക്കെ, എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഇത് വെച്ച് മറക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദീസ് ആർ ദി. So Wally devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields, green as far as the eye could see. Oh, it was all so wonderful. Wally didn't experience these things before. Actually, all these experiences are new and unusual. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. "Listen, child," said the voice. "You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down. You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." So sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. Actually, Wally didn't like the advice of that old man. She was annoyed by his attention. "There is nobody here who is a child," she said haughtily. "I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else." Here, haughtily means proudly. So, Wally said that there is nobody here who is a child. I am not a child. Don't call me a child. Okay, I don't like that. The conductor chimed in. "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl would pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" So the conductor chimed. Chimed, what does the word chimed here mean? Chimed here means agreed. The conductor agreed. He said that, "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl would pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" She paid her fare and she is traveling alone without the help of anyone. Wally shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, "I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket. So I have already told you that don't call me madam or don't call me child, because I don't like that. And you should remember one thing, that you haven't yet given my ticket." "I will remember," the conductor said, mimicking her tone Everyone laughed. So the conductor mimicked here means copied her tone. In her tone, the conductor gave a reply. So everyone burst into laughter, including Valli. The conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. So the conductor said to Valli that you have paid for a seat. Then why don't you sit? You are standing now. So why don't you sit? I am not a child. I tell you, she said irritably. I am 8 years old. Of course, of course. How stupid of me. 8 years. My. So the conductor again called Valli a child, and she became very irritated, and she said that I am 8 years old. So the conductor replied that I forgot that I am. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Wally finally sat down. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Wally as the bus started again. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on, and Wally feared that she may lose his seat, and finally she sat down. So an elderly woman came and sat beside her, and she asked a question. What was that? Are you all alone, dear? She asked Wally as the bus started again. The bus started moving, and the elderly woman asked to Wally that are you all alone, dear? Wally found the woman absolutely repulsive. What does the word repulsive here means? Repulsive here means causing strong dislike. Such big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them, and she could smell the beetle nut the woman was chewing and see the beetle juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. Oh, who could be sociable with such a person? This paragraph gives a detailed description about the elderly woman who sat beside Valli. Here we have got some important words, that is repulsive. Repulsive means causing strong dislike, and the next one is earlobes. Here earlobes means കാതിൻ്റെ തൊങ്ങൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കീഴ്ക്കാത്, അതിനാണ് earlobes. Next one beetle. Beetle means വെറ്റില. Okay. The appearance of the elderly woman was not a good one, so he thought in her mind, who could be sociable with such a person? Who could be sociable? Here the word sociable means who could be friendly with such a person. Yes, I am traveling alone, she answered curtly, and I have got a ticket too. Yes, I am traveling alone, she answered curtly. What does the word curtly here means? Curtly here means showing displeasure. And I have got a ticket too. I am traveling alone and I have got my ticket too. Yes, she is on her way to town, said the conductor with a 30 paise ticket. Oh, why don't you mind your own business? Said Wally, but she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. But the old woman went on with her drivel. Drivel here means silly nonsense, assemble. Drivel. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What's the street? What's the house number? Actually, the elderly woman came with a handful of questions. Well, the old woman didn't stop her interrogation, her questioning. She asked her, is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? You are a kid, you are a child. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Wally said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. Wally didn't like these questions, and she uh, turned her face towards the window and staring out. This is the end of part 2 of this lesson. I hope you all would have enjoyed this part. Thank you for watching, children. Have a great day. In the next class, we shall continue this lesson.